Hey, what's up? This is Seth, and in this video, I'm going to show you digital marketing career opportunities in a number of cities, starting with Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Now, Dallas, to me, is very exciting because not only are there a ton of jobs, but there's also a ton of agencies that are actively hiring people. So as you can see, I have a ton of tabs open. If I go to Indeed, I look in digital marketing, there's 1,064 jobs. And if you go to LinkedIn, where is it? Which tab? Here it is. It's also about 1,100 jobs. And, I used to sort this by entry level and not entry level, but frankly, one of the things I've say again and again in my training and on my YouTube channel is that you do not need to necessarily limit yourself to the jobs you apply to, because I've had students get positions where it says you need 3 years experience, 5 years experience, because there is such a lack of skilled workers in this field, and this continues. I started making these videos in 2016. I got into this field in 2011. It's almost exactly the same. In fact, the job numbers have increased. If you actually go to the United States as a whole, there are 40,000 results under digital marketing. So this is a great opportunity. So let's start with some of these actual jobs. Now let's see, we got digital marketing coordinator, Irving, Texas. Now, I actually don't know if that's close to Dallas, but this is the type of position. Entry level, implement digital media campaigns aligned with business goals, drive growth through social media, leverage SEO and SEM. Ideal candidate, 2+ years digital marketing experience, bachelor's degree. I'm telling you, they are not, they've already posted it 3 days ago. And you know how it is in the job market. Everyone says, oh, it's so competitive. There's so many applicants. 3 days ago, it doesn't look like they've had any applications for this job. Plus, in a place like Dallas, it's a big enough city where there are a number of companies, but there just is not as much competition for these jobs. It's not like New York or LA, which you can also get a job there. Here's another position, digital marketing and paid media specialist in Dallas. And this is one of these great, I love this. It says, we're hired first on attitude, creativity, drive, and culture fit, and secondly on skill. Now, they really do want you to have skills, but they're basically saying that they will train people because they cannot find people. And they also, as I teach in the training, you want to have the bare minimum essentials to show that you understand the language of this industry, and then wow them with your passion, and you will be hired. And that's what happened with so many of my students. So be able to jump into a high-paced, agile agency environment, managing multiple of search engine marketing, PPC, and paid social campaigns, deep understanding, blah, blah, blah. Responsibilities, creating, monitoring, optimizing paid media campaigns. This is exactly what you learn in the course. Measuring, analyzing, and improving. Conscious collaboration. An individual should demonstrate one of the following. It says 2 to 3 years experience in SEO and SEM strategies. Basic understanding, self-starter, all this stuff. And 2 months ago, 2 months on LinkedIn, I don't even know how many applicants they've had. They clearly have not filled it. This is another great opportunity. Come over here. We got digital marketing specialist at the Boss Group, Arlington, Texas. Entry level, responsible for creating email marketing campaigns. And there's going to be something about up to date. This looks like it's email focused. Strong HTML, must have intermediate working knowledge of the following concept: SEO, SEM, web analytics, which is what you can learn within a couple of weeks. And posted 2 weeks ago. It's still up. This one is really interesting. You'll notice it doesn't say anything about bachelor's degree or even experience. It just says you have immediate or working knowledge of these things. This is another great entry level position. Digital marketing specialist, Creative Circle. Now, the reason that this is great, digital marketing coordinator, manage, develop strategy for SEO, PC and Mac skills, things like that. This is probably this is not a paid position, but look, up to 55,000 depending on experience. Associate, which is basically like entry level. And this one's been up for 3 weeks. They can't find anyone. This is perfect because this is a temp agency. Creative Circle, Creative Group, those are Creative Circles nationwide, and it's a temp agency. And those are the best because I tell people you can get, once you have the agents at the temp agency are an advocate for you because they want you to get hired because then they get paid. And in a city like Dallas, I can almost guarantee you they are not getting anyone who has the skill sets that this company needs, that they are hiring for. And as you can see, it posted it 3 weeks ago. Here's one on Indeed, digital marketing strategist, online project management, content management. And as I tell people over and over again, if you have a bachelor's degree, that's fine. But this whole nonsense, a lot of these companies, they just don't know what they even need. In many cases, they'll say bachelor's degree in communications, advertising. They don't even know what they need. The bachelor's degree doesn't matter because you don't learn about this in college. That's why I've had so many of my students who don't even have a degree get hired because they have the skills. They can come into the workplace and say, I can do the job. I can help your clients make money. Exposure. I love this one. Exposure to Google Analytics and AdWords preferred. That is the most timid language ever, right? It doesn't even say you have to have 5 years experience managing accounts. Like exposure, like that could be that maybe you heard of it. If you come in there with what you learned in my course, this is how people are getting hired for positions like this. And again, I do this search I do a search the day before I record this and I just look for these and they're right there. They're right under everybody's nose. Paid social marketing specialist, strategy and pre-deployment, 1 to 3 years of experience with digital media planning, buying, and reporting, blah, blah. Again, don't be intimidated by this. When it says 1 to 3 years, that means they're looking for someone that knows almost anything about this. Digital marketing specialist, WP Promote. This is actually a really great opportunity. This company, W Promote, is nationwide. They have an office in LA. They tend to pay a little bit less. But that's good when you're starting out because I tell my students the goal with the entry-level job is not to get the big bucks. It's to get the experience so you can leverage it up. So this one is going to be reporting and analyzing SEO. This is very SEO. And look at this one, 0 to 1 years of experience in SEO or digital marketing experience. Come on, guys. I love it. This stuff is sitting all over here. There's 40,000 opportunities in the country, and everyone on the news is saying, oh, the economy, there's no jobs for college grads. Like, dude, these jobs are here, just nobody knows about them. So I'm going to keep going. Digital analyst junior. This is fantastic. Whenever you see junior, that is even better because look at this. 0 to 3 years of experience. Candidates with no degree but experience in the field or a similar field will be considered. Yay! They actually said it. I'm so happy with that because they voiced what is the truth, which is that they don't care about the degree. They want someone who they can come in and train or has the ability to go to work right away. Let's see here. We got digital media specialist. Now I want to bring you over to the agencies. This is normally what I do for people is they say, oh, there's this many job postings, that many job postings, but you can go right to all the agencies in a particular city. And Dallas has a ton of digital marketing agencies. So you've got the Richards Group, which is one that was hiring before. You go to digital strategy and they are hiring for a digital strategist over here. All I did was a Google search for digital marketing agencies, Dallas Fort Worth. There's a ton. There's a ton. And when you know how to speak the language and present yourself, you can contact any of these agencies and at the very least network and at the most be hired or get an internship. And look at this place. These companies are growing. In fact, Dallas is the first city that I've seen out of many cities that almost every single agency has a careers page that's active that I've seen. You got SEM lead, SEM director, SEO director, SEM manager. And some of these positions like this one, SEM lead. Now, this is obviously the management type position. It's going to say you have around 3 to 5 years experience managing SEM teams, but apply anyway once you take my course. Because I tell you, I had a story about this. I applied for a management position years ago before I had that much experience, and they wrote me back and said, you're not qualified. But guess what? We have another position, a junior position that you'd be perfect for. And I got the job. So in this case, when you see an agency that is growing like this, they obviously look at how many job openings they have. You apply for whatever position you have the skills for, and then your name is on file with them. And again, if they don't hire for that position, there's a good chance that you'll be considered for another one. Here is PPC specialist. This one is called Anilon. Again, this is a senior one. This one is a digital marketing intern. Internships in this field are great because you actually learn skills. You don't just go get coffee for people. And I don't think you should have to pay to get an internship. There's some programs out there that are like apprenticeships where you actually pay to get the job. I don't think that's right because you can actually just do this. This is called Steadfast, SEO specialist part-time in Keller, Texas. This is called Balcom Agency. Looks like let me take a look here. I don't know what even if they're not hiring on the website, you still contact them because these agencies are always having turnover for a good reason, because in this field, people get poached. This is what happened to me. It happens to my students. Once you are on LinkedIn with your profile showing that you're a digital marketing strategist, recruiters come after you because the recruiters cannot find enough people to fill these positions. And that's how people jump from job to job. SEO specialist. Oh, this one I like. This is remote. And there are some remote positions, and I have a whole other video about that. But I focus primarily on in-house jobs, but you can also do freelance work where you get your own clients, and there's just a ton of opportunities. So Dallas is a great, great city. And now I think I'm going to move on to upstate New York. Now I'm going to talk about digital marketing opportunities in upstate New York, which is where I am from. I'm from Rochester, New York. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Rochester, Syracuse, and Albany. And one of the things you're going to see, like I'm able to find this really cool position in Rochester at a company called CGI Communications, which I actually worked at this company, I think 10 years ago, and they are still around. Back then, it was old school advertising, and now they're doing digital marketing. And as you can see, this is a very low barrier for entry position. You're going to be doing, it looks like you'll be doing a little bit of customer service, but then you'll be doing SEO and analytics. And as it says here, you can move up to an account manager position or grow to work on SEO, social media, AdWords, or other digital marketing related openings very quickly, as you can with most agencies. You can see they don't have a huge list of requirements like you need a certain degree or certain years of experience. They're probably going to train you, and this is absolutely perfect. They posted it 2 weeks ago. Looks like they haven't had hardly any applications. This is a great opportunity. But if you look at the postings, a city like Rochester, Syracuse, or Albany, they're not huge cities, so they don't have as many jobs as a place like Dallas or even Charlotte, North Carolina, or something like that. So I'm going to show you actually a couple of positions, and then I'm going to talk to you more about the agencies in these places, because there's a ton of agencies in upstate New York, and they're all looking for people. So again, you don't have to necessarily go to monster.com Indeed to find these positions. But here's another one in Rochester. Email. This is about email marketing, banner marketing. Again, if it says BA in marketing or 1 to 3 years experience, do not be intimidated by that if you're just starting out, especially when you see 1 year experience on any job posting. That is code for we will accept people that have the skills, because 1 year experience is so low. It may as well be 0 years of experience. And see here it says experience with AdWords, analytics, ad role. That is something that they are not finding in Rochester or a small city like that. See here. So now let's talk about the agencies, because I think if you live in any of these cities, you should go right to the agencies first, because those are people that they're already doing digital marketing. They already have clients, and they're already looking for people. So like this is called Lawns or Lawndays. I don't know how to pronounce it. They're looking for a communication specialist to do SEO. Again, when you see 2 to 4 years experience in upstate New York, apply anyway. That's what I tell all my students. And I've had students as young as 19 get jobs where the posting said 3 years required, but because they presented themselves in such a compelling way, like how I show you to, they were considered and actually hired for positions. So there's another agency called Brand Mint in Rochester. Again, even if it doesn't have a careers page, you can still contact and network with these agencies. This is another agency in Rochester. Now, if you go to, I believe this is Albany. So Albany has a ton of agencies. This is one called CMK Marketing. This one is called Over It, and they have positions listed here: account executive, senior digital marketing strategist, and internship opportunities. Over It is always happy to talk to talented students who are considering career to creative agency. SEO, production management, all this other stuff. And you could find this is the position of most agencies, which is where they are always looking for new talent, because A, there's a small talent pool, and B, they get a lot of turnover because people always get poached to go to other companies. And that's what happens when there's a low supply of labor. This one is called Outspoken Media. They're hiring for a marketing assistant, but here's this is actually summarizes it really nicely. Don't see an open position that fits your specific skill set, but think you'd be a great addition. You should still reach out for us. We're always looking for data analysts, technical SEOs, digital marketers, content strategists. And this is all sounds fancy. This is for people who can do search engine optimization, people who can change a website or build links to make a website turn up higher in Google's organic rankings. Content strategist is basically a writer. Digital marketers could include people to manage paid advertising or do SEO. So send us your resume or link to your LinkedIn file. And this is exactly where, if you present yourself properly, even if you have zero experience, you will be considered and often get an interview or even hired for a job like that. This one is called Braun Media. This one's in Albany, SEM, PPC specialist. Minimum of 1 year work experience in a similar role creating PPC campaigns in Google AdWords. That is great. Again, if you're sitting here thinking, I don't have any experience, when they say minimum 1 year, that is very low bar. They really couldn't say, we'll pick anyone that has any clue about AdWords and hire them. That's not what they're going to say in their posting, but you have to be able to read between the lines. And again, if you have a bachelor's degree, that's fantastic. If you don't worry about it. I've had so many great, driven, smart, talented young people take the course, and because they show an employer that they have the skills and the passion, the employer could give a crap if they have a degree or not. Because writing a paper on Huckleberry Finn in college has nothing to do with if you can help a company make money. And then it says preferred Google AdWords certified. You learn how to do that. You show up as a professional. You're definitely going to be taken seriously. Same thing here. SEO analyst. These are jobs. These are jobs in a part of the country where it's not known for having a lot of jobs. Upstate New York, I'm from there. We call it the Rust Belt. It was one of these places where we had like Kodak and these big companies, and they all went, belly up in the 90s. And there's new jobs being created here, but nobody in school is teaching young people about them. So now you know about them. Here's one called Burst Marketing. This is another one in Albany, or I guess it's in Troy, New York, which I think is near Albany. Again, they don't have specific positions listed, but they're always looking for people. So you send them your resume. This is very exciting. This is a company called Internet Marketing Ninjas. And I actually had a client. I was working at a company that had hired them. And maybe I'll tell that story later. But they are a good company. They're huge within the industry. The guy who runs it, Jim, I think is his name, is a genius of SEO. And he drives a DeLorean, like Back to the Future car. So they have these job openings, and they're not always open. But when they are, these are the best jobs. If you are in upstate New York, if you are anywhere in upstate New York, I would definitely come and go to Clifton Park, because if you get hired by these guys, it's like an internship on crack, from my understanding. It's like, see, we will train you, no experience required. He actually said, Jim Boykin. Jim actually told me when he talks, he does not want someone with a degree. He does not want someone who has marketing training or marketing classes or that, because basically in college, you learn so much BS and you learn the wrong way to do things and you learn outdated theoretical crap that an employer will have to come in and help you unlearn that before they can teach you the right way. So he'd rather have someone straight out of high school or someone who just comes in and says, I'm really passionate about internet marketing. They're just going to show you what to do. And this is a great company. I think you should try to work there. So now you jump over to Syracuse, New York, and we've got an account manager, digital marketing analyst, and digital marketing coordinator in Rochester and Syracuse, New York. And let's see, we can look at those positions in more detail, but let's jump over here while that's loading. Now here's another one, Gaber Marketing. I thought I had this open with, I don't see a careers page here, but again, you can always contact and network with people at an agency, even if you don't see a careers page, and they're always excited to connect with other marketing nerds, as I call it. This one's called ABC Creative Group. And again, like a lot of these agencies, they will try to sell you on their culture and their company because it's so competitive when you have these skills. So they're not just saying, here's our positions. They're talking about, it's a fun work environment. Look, here's a bunch of people wearing costumes of some kind, and here's people drinking milkshakes. So it's a fun place. They have internships, and then they have a lot of press about them. So there's a lot of stuff going on in upstate New York. Digital marketing coordinator. This bachelor's degree preferred. Again, guys, present yourself articulately with passion. No one cares about a degree. This coordinator position is actually probably more of like, it is a coordinator. You're probably not managing accounts, but it still looks like a good opportunity. The analyst is the one where you're probably going to be actually managing Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, things like that. And look at this, passion for digital marketing, technology, and analytics. experience working with analytical software. And like I say in my course, experience means you've used it a couple of times. Doesn't mean you have 10 years of experience. Microsoft Word, new ability to learn. These are all the code words that signal that this position is something that a person with very little experience can get as long as they have the passion and the basic understanding. Look, basic mathematical skills works well under pressure. This is fantastic. So there's a lot of opportunities in upstate New York. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's upstate New York. And now I think we're going to move on to Miami. Again, if you want to learn more about these positions, you can click below and check out indemandcareer.com with the free mini course on how to get started and what these careers are exactly in more detail in digital marketing.